Welcome to TYT Sports. Dan Keston, J.R. Jackson, and Jason Rubin here to recap the 2015 World Series. The Kansas City Royals beat the New York Mets 7-2 in extra innings to take home their first World Series since 1985, which, historically speaking, George Brett, I think, was in attendance at every single one of these games. A big mentor to that Royals team. And the Royals had their sights on this World Series from spring training. They got a taste of it last year when Madison Bumgarner truly pitched one of the most historic World Series performances, and they saw it. And that happened in 7 games. And they had their sights on it, and they truly were the better team in this World Series, as much as it kills me. Granted, the Mets gave away a few wins. In the end, after arguing with Michael Schur all night, he did make the point that the pressure that Kansas City puts on your infield to make plays when you need to make plays is insufferable. Therefore, Royals got the better of them. One note on Hosmer. That was not good base running. That was extremely poor base running. So Harold Reynolds somehow still has a job in the broadcast booth after that.
But it's similar. Okay, it's one of those things where you take, I mean, if we're going to cross over with sports, you talk about the Golden State Warriors, who just won the championship last year, right? You have Steph Curry. There's a few shots where you watch him take a step back three-pointer, you go, oh, bad shot. Oh, great shot, because it went in, right? It's a bad idea until it works, you know?
Right, no, I agree. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
And it's true, it was a bad idea.
By textbook, by fundamental.
Because 9 times out of 10, he's out.
Right.
9.999 times out of 10 he's out.
Which, by the way, is an excellent transition to the other key decision of that final game, which is, Matt Harvey being allowed to stay in the game, even after Collins came out and said, hey, you got to come out. And Harvey was like, no, I want to stay in, I want to stay in. And he said, okay, stay in. And then, of course, he proceeded to give up a run, put another guy on second, and then Familia, almost got him out, but led into the Hosmer thing. So, that's kind of, JR, your same point, where it's like, if that works out, everyone's like, well, they don't ever say anything. They're like, oh, Harvey knew what he was talking about. He's been so dominant. Of course, you leave him in. But because, he didn't pull him out.
Right. I mean, either way,
everyone second guesses it.
I think out of that entire series, no pitcher got the best of the Royals like Harvey did in that game. He had 9 strikeouts in that game, which comparatively to DeGrom's 2, to Harvey's first outing of 2, he made the right adjustments. To Syndergaard's 6, which we're considering that such a dominant performance, for whatever reason, it was a good performance.
I mean, was there any Met fan that said, I can't believe Harvey's back out here?
Well, here's the thing.
At the beginning of
that
inning.
Mets fan, I disagree, and I would with any single team.
I said that, actually.
Yeah.
I disagree with any single team who thinks, let the crowd decide who should be out there. No, you should never do that. But in Terry Collins' case, he's been making poor pitching decisions the entire season long. And therefore, it's not like that was an easy decision to be like, oh, no, we're definitely going to go with Familia, who's been shut down all season long, until he gets to the postseason and starts blowing saves. But it was regardless. Here's what happened. Harvey went in, he gave up the run, put men on base. Familia blew the save on Hosmer's sliding infield, fielder's choice run to tie the game. And then once you're going to get into extra innings, the Mets had no chance. They don't hit the ball.
Well, this is the other question.
Their bullpens, it's a battle of the bullpens. Yeah, guess whose bullpen is a lot better?
I mean, I think it was game 1. Familia comes in and blows that save. Gordon comes and hits a home run.
Yeah.
He
hit that to the moon and back.
Right? So, so then is the question, say they pull Harvey and put in Familia, and he does the same thing again. Somehow, in a different way, blows the save. They go, I can't believe you'd pull the guy who's on fire. Look what just happened last season with Bumgarner. He had a historic, this is the only time you're going to do something like this. There's so many ways to second guess it. And maybe, now, I think where you could question him is after he walks Kane, after Harvey walks Kane, now you pull him. But still, you have someone that's going to steal. I mean, he's still going to steal on Familia probably, because Familia isn't going to throw anyone out.
My honest feeling
was going to happen, is my point.
My honest feeling was when he threw 2 pitches so wildly out of the strikes, and I was like, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
This was not going to be good.
Look, it was a no-win. It was a no-win. But I know that as a Met fan, you came in this morning and said that they weren't going to ever win this series, but I don't know. I think they had a lot of chances to win the series.
Right, and that's the most disappointing part of the World Series is
Game 1, Daniel Murphy, Duda. I mean, there's a lot of chances that they just didn't
feel
close.
Like showing up.
They didn't
close. For the most part, none of the Daniel Murphy disappeared, which again, that's more of Daniel Murphy. He's a good contact hitter. He's not a 7 home
But I'm more talking about the error. The error.
No, his error was bad. Yeah. It was a very bad error. And then
Which one?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, the one that got by him in the shift, by the way, was that's a routine.
Right,
it's not easy play to make, especially in any baseball game. But on to the memes and tweets, because that covers the rest of the World Series. So here's a roundup of some of the best memes and tweets from Game 5 and the World Series in general. This is way too fitting. You either die a hero or you pitch long enough to see yourself become the villain. Matt Harvey is the Dark Knight of Citi Field, or Shea Stadium, and I call it. There's your Mets infield, also known as a dumpster fire, which is too brutal to see. I'm going to be joining these children when I get my New York Mets 2015 World Series championship shirt and hat. I like the guy in front. Here you go. I have DirecTV. I'm the NLCS Daniel Murphy, and I'm World Series Daniel Murphy, and I have cable. We move forward. I think we have one more. Does anyone remember Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's first pitch?
The worst first pitch of all time.
Mama said Mets fans are angry because they have all those pitches but no strikeouts.
I like that.
Love Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Love the Water Boy. And then I wanted to discuss this for a quick second because, as J.R. Jackson pointed out to me this morning, he thought this was a slow dribbler that got into the back part of the infield and almost to the outfield grass, when in reality it went off Cespedes' knee and he went right down. It was funny because they kept saying throughout the game, you know, Cespedes is your cleanup hitter. He really needs a hit. And he's 0 for 1. Comes up for a second. You know what would be great right now? If Cespedes can get going, he's 0 for 2. Goes 0 for 2. Comes up in that at-bat. And they say after he goes out, they're like, that's going to be a big hit to the Mets lineup if they come up again. If they have a chance, they need some runs or need to get a ball in play. Juan Lagares was batting better than Cespedes was in the postseason. I get the idea of, you know, he's at any point, swing of the bat can be a home run. But you really look at it, he had a terrible World Series. So did Daniel Murphy. So did almost every single one of the Mets hitters, except for Curtis Granderson. You're a fucking hero to me. And you always will be. But any other thoughts and notes from Game 5?
As I was saying also, I mean, I'm a Dodgers fan, but like it's hard to feel bad about this team. Again, because of the bad base running from Hosmer. And he had a few errors that his team picked him up back from, you know. So this collectively, I think they mentioned every player on the World Series roster played. Every player. I mean, you have the rookie who came in, Cortez, for KC. No, came in and got the big hit.
Cologne.
Yeah, it was Christian Cologne comes in. I didn't know who the kid was.
Bartolo's great-great-grandson.
Right, so like, it's inspiring to see a team. It's the way when you see the Spurs win a championship, the whole team plays, and it just looks like a unit that just is well-oiled and just gets the job done. It was fun.
There was a great tweet from SI that said, and it was 4 years ago, they said, while you're all laughing at the Kansas City Royals, they are right now in the process of building one of the greatest player development machines in progress.
And, I'm sorry,
4 years later, they won the
last year, KC went and lost. Maybe you have a chance. Look at this. History could repeat itself. You have a chance to go back. They sat and watched the celebration. I saw David Wright watching, and he was just taking it in.
Look, it's tough. It's tough to watch it. To be 100% honest, I turned it off after they went up. After they got the first run in the top of the 12th. I refuse to watch any team celebrate on my turf. I think that's the most devastating thing any fan could watch. So instead, I watched really bad basketball, which is the Los Angeles Lakers. But the Mets will be back next year. We'll see what happens. A great season ends with a World Series and nothing short of that. So keep that in mind when you say, wow, good job, team. You guys get an NL pennant. Means nothing to me unless you win the championship. Comment below with what you think about the World Series. Matt Harvey, Yoenis Cespedes, the Kansas City Royals, everything that you saw. This is probably our last baseball clip for so long. Definitely of 2015. That's what makes me cry. Don't forget that you can follow everyone on Twitter at DankyShane, at J.R. Jackson, at JasonRubin91, and at TYT Sports. We'll see you next time.